All right, so we do have hockey tonight. No worries about the hurricane, tropical storm, whatever the hell it is by now. So that's good. Second thing is, we got 4,000 hours. We got the channel to the 4,000 hours required for me to be able to apply to monetize. Now, that is technically accurate but inaccurate. I'm going to need a little bit more. I'm probably going to need another 100 or so hours because, like I've said, they don't count the hours that's on content that's monetized. So like the Dale Talon video has a Hall & Oates song in it, so it's copyrighted, so they won't count that. So I probably don't have a whole lot of that going on, so probably by the time I get to like 4.1, 4.2, I'll get the application. But that's moving ahead. That's going to be, it's definitely is going to be a thing by the time football season starts. The heck with hockey season, football season, so that's going to be really good. All right. I just wanted to get to a few more of the Ask Jaws questions. I had a few that somehow didn't make the cut yesterday. I thought I had sent them all to myself, but I didn't. So it's just 4 quick ones, but I didn't want to leave people out. So let's get into it. First one is really late. It's from Aiden Peach. Now, he was asking it late anyway, so he knew that basically by the time I answered the question, the finals would be well underway. And then he also wants to know what I'm most excited about as a Panther fan for next season. In terms of the finals, I predict it's going to go at least 5 games. That's my gut. I'm really picking that up strong, heavily. At least 5 games. Might go 6, but it's going to take a miracle to go 6. In terms of the Panthers next year, I'm all about Spencer Knight. I am all about Spencer Knight. Now, for you Bobrovsky fans, nothing personal, but go Dangle. All right? If anybody's seen Miller's Crossing, you will understand the reference. And if you haven't seen Miller's Crossing, go see Miller's Crossing. If you're into gangster movies, it is the gangster movie. Forget The Godfather. Go watch Miller's Crossing. Now, I am all about Spencer Knight. Look, I know Bob is making $10 million. I know right now nothing is official and he is the starter. But he was also scratched in the playoffs. All right? That doesn't mean nothing. So I'm all about watching Spencer Knight. At the very least, I will be okay with if it's an even split as long as it's not costing us points. Nothing like this thing last year where we had, it was ridiculous. Bobrovsky for most of the year was about 3/4 of a goal or worse than Drieger. And the shot, and, the save percentage wasn't close. If that presents again with Knight and Bobrovsky, you gotta play Knight. I understand last year you knew you were going to lose Drieger and you wanted to give Bobrovsky a chance to right himself. I'm going to have a video about that within about a week and a half, looking at how Bobrovsky used to be and how he is now. That said, I'm all about Spencer Knight. Absolutely, the dude needs 40, 50 games at least. So we see what we got, and I think we all have a pretty good idea what we got. Okay, Tyler had a few more questions. I don't know how I missed these yesterday. I knew they were on my head, but they weren't on my list. So, wants to know basically what I would do if I was Seattle, what does my protection list look like for the Panthers, and if I've ever won anything worth more than $400 that wasn't free. In terms of Seattle, I'm diving, as soon as the finals are over, I'm diving like into a deep pool of research into the expansion draft because I'm going to be live streaming that. So I'm going to be researching all the teams. I'm probably going to go blind doing it, but I'm going to do it. Now, so in terms of who Seattle's going to pick, the only advice I have for them is absolutely, if by any stretch of luck that Keith Yandel waives his no-move clause, definitely pick this dude up. He is very underrated, underpaid. I cannot say enough glowing things about Keith Yandel. That is the guy you guys want to pick up. I'll have a real answer for you when I do the video about it. Now, in terms of the Panthers protection list, honestly, for me personally, I would have Yandel waive, and I would go the 8. The 8-1. I would protect Gudis and Forsling. And then Look, if you're going to expose Vetrano or Chari or Duclair, they can only take one. They can only take one, and you still got a significant chance that the one is going to be Drieger anyway. So I would not even tempt them with Gudas and Forsling. We cannot afford more holes on defense. We can afford to lose a winger, although I don't want to. If I'm GM, that's what I would do. And I'd probably get a lot of hate mail for it or whatever, but that's what I would do. That was the question. Now, in terms of have I ever won anything worth more than $400 that wasn't free? What I can say, now, I'm not sure what the statute of limitations is on this. And if the FBI or the CIA or anybody with law enforcement comes knocking and wants to, investigate what I'm getting ready to say, I'm making it up. But am I? What I will tell you is that while I haven't won anything over $400, I did, over the course of about 6 years, rob a particular casino of about $250,000. Pending the statute of limitations, that story is true. Stay tuned. One Bad Steve would like to know, where the hell are my glasses, Boomer? Well, I don't need them anymore, millennial. Or apparently, what do you call a Zoomer? And I'm not a boomer, by the way. We had this discussion the other day. If you're going to insult somebody, get it right. I'm not a boomer. Apparently, I'm Gen X, and you're a Zoomer. So there's no boomers here. So come on. At least, look, I understand that as a Jets fan, your mind gets a little bit scrambled. Things get a little bit wonky up there. You don't know left from right or up from down. But at least get the classifications correct. Now, why do I not need my glasses anymore? I will point you to my laptop, because I've discovered that if I screenshot the hashtag AskJaws questions and comments and then send them to my email, look at the size of that text. If I put my glasses on, I wouldn't be able to read it anymore. So I don't need the glasses, Zoomer. Alright, now High Five wants to know if Jaws is my favorite movie and what's the significance. Now, I have made a video about this long ago, but I'll give you the short version. Yes, Jaws is my favorite movie. The significance of it is that at about, let me see, I would have been just about 5, or the summer before I turned 5. My father decided, the great parent that he is, he decides, it'd be a really good idea. Why don't we take this 4.5-year-old to the big screen to go watch a bunch of people get eaten by sharks? That was beautiful. Or one shark. Whatever the case is. You know the point. So I was terrified, petrified. We had a swimming pool. This is true. This is a true story. This is a story about how something that's a negative can be turned into a positive. This is real life. We had a swimming pool, and up until the age of about 11 or 12, I was pretty damn sure that Jaws was going to come up through the drain in the bottom and get me. Now, what happened? So, when I would swim by myself, from the shallow end to the deep end, I would swim like the rest of the human race and just enjoy myself. However, when I would swim from the deep end to the shallow end, since Jaws was going to come up through the drain and get me, I swam at record speed. And when I say record speed, I'm not kidding. When I went to the military and I went to the Air Force and I went to try out for the swim team, they looked at me like I had my head screwed on 3 sizes too small. They're like, dude, you're a foot too short and you're like 200 pounds of solid muscle. You can't swim. What are you doing? I said, aha. Well, it didn't take but about 30 seconds before they had me on the first leg of the 4-way relay, because I would get our team such a lead by swimming so ridiculously fast for a short distance, mind you, that no matter what the rest of our team did, they couldn't screw up the lead, and we would win every race. Why? Because my dad took me to see Jaws, and I apparently became an Olympic distance, a short distance, very short distance, Olympic speed swimmer out of my fear that Jaws was going to come up through the drain and eat me. Alright, that's enough for that. So, we got hockey tonight, no hurricane. Then whatever's rest of the storm, whatever's left of the storm is supposed to come here tomorrow. So that's a beautiful thing, but they keep changing it. So, all right. 1 hour before game time, live stream, then the recap, and then maybe game 6. Maybe game 6. If not, off-season stuff starts tomorrow. As soon as there is no hockey, I'm going to jump back onto the football because I got to do the rest of the division previews. And at the same time, I will still be making hockey content, Panthers content every day. And I got to really start just like burning my eyeballs out with expansion draft research. Because I know everybody is just going to be watching the live stream because they expect me to know everything and just give succinct, perfectly accurate hockey commentary. Or I could be wrong. You guys could just be watching to watch me lose my shit. I don't know. You tell me.